You're probably sitting at the kitchen counter or in the break room wondering whether you should drop a few $100s on a commercial-grade coffee brewer, or just keep using that little drip machine that takes forever and never seems hot enough. I get it. Spending money on the wrong equipment can sit in a corner for months, or worse, force you to keep buying cheap beans and disposable cups just to make up for a weak brew. If you're looking for a coffee maker that can actually keep up with a small office or a boutique CAF, the Bunn 35900.0010 BrewWISE might be the answer. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest question most people have is whether the BrewWISE can actually deliver a steady stream of good coffee without turning the whole place into a steam room. The machine is built to push up to 18.9 gallons per hour, which translates to roughly 248-ounce cups every hour. In a real-world office of 3,040 people, that means you can have a fresh pot ready every 10-15 minutes during the morning rush, and you won't be stuck watching a half-filled carafe while the rest of the team waits. That kind of throughput is where the value really shines compared with a home-sized drip brewer that can only make a pot of 10 cups in the same time. The BrewWISE also comes with digital temperature control, and that's not just a fancy number on the LCD display. Coffee extraction is a delicate balance, and a few degrees too low can leave the brew tasting flat, while a few degrees too high can scald the beans and create bitterness. With the digital control, you can dial the water temperature to the sweet spot recommended for your bean roast, usually around 195-200 F. In my own test, setting it at 197 F produced a cup that held its aromatics longer than the standard 180-degree setting you get on many office machines. Now, let's talk about the large spray head and Splashguard funnel. Those two parts work together to distribute water evenly over the coffee grounds. For a commercial brewer, that's crucial because uneven saturation leads to channeling, where water rushes through certain spots and leaves other grounds under-extracted. The wide spray pattern of the BrewWISE means the water blankets the entire bed of grounds, and the Splashguard funnel catches any overflow before it drips onto the countertop. In a busy setting, you'll notice less mess and less cleaning time because the brew basket stays dry on the outside. That said, the large spray head does use a bit more water per cycle than a narrower nozzle, so if you're trying to be ultra-conservative with water usage, you'll want to monitor that. Speaking of cleaning, the BrewWISE is designed with a removable brew basket and a quick-release spray head, which makes routine maintenance fairly painless. You can pull the basket out, dump the grounds, and run a quick rinse cycle without disassembling the whole unit. The LCD display even flashes a reminder when the brew cycle is complete, so you won't forget to turn it off at the end of the day. On the flip side, because it's a commercial-grade machine, the interior components are larger and heavier than a countertop drip maker. If you have a cramped break room, you'll need to allocate a dedicated space of at least 2 feet by 3 feet, plus clearance for the vent. It isn't a unit you can just slide under a sink. Who should consider buying the BrewWISE? If you run a small office of 20-50 people, a boutique coffee shop that serves a steady stream of regulars, or you host frequent meetings, trainings, or community events where you need a reliable coffee supply, this brewer fits the bill. It's also a solid option for a co-working space where each desk might have a different schedule, because the high output means you can keep multiple pots brewing without a noticeable dip in temperature. The digital temperature setting is a bonus for anyone who cares about flavor consistency, especially if you rotate between light and dark roasts. Who should skip it? If you're a solo entrepreneur working from home, a hobbyist who only needs a couple of cups a day, or a tiny boutique that sells under 10 cups per day, the BrewWISE is overkill. The initial price point, the space requirement, and the need to regularly decal a larger system can feel like unnecessary hassle for low volume. In those cases, a high-capacity single-serve machine or a smaller Bunn countertop model would meet the needs without the extra footprint. Let's get into the practical strengths you'll notice day after day. Speed is the headline, but it translates into less waiting time and more satisfied staff. The digital temperature control gives you repeatable taste, which means you won't get complaints about weak coffee when the office is busy. The Splashguard funnel keeps the countertop dry, which is a small but welcome convenience. No one wants coffee spilling onto a keyboard. And the LCD interface is intuitive enough that even a new employee can set the temperature and start a brew without a training session. On the downside, the machines.